Action Podcast with your hosts Chris Carson and DC and Shama.
Welcome to Space Action Podcast, a division of Space Action Heroes, a webcomic you can find online at spaceactionheroes.com. I'm DC and Shama.
Chris Carson.
And this week we are delving into the world of the ultimate killer, the Predator.
Guess who's back? It ain't a fucking question. Ain't no living by when the presence of a living legend.
Predators that exploit weakness, tracks its prey like a game, seems to enjoy it.
That's not a predator, that's a sports hunter.
Well, we took a vote. Predator's cooler, right? Fuck yeah.
Do you think that was a dude? Do you think that was actually just someone crammed a mic in one of
Yeah, I would guess so.
Just going,
what else does that?
and then, yeah, it doesn't seem like it was faked.
Like, what other animal goes...
Yeah. And they just manipulated some guy going...
So, right off the bat...
All right, The Predator, by the way.
The Predator.
The Predator.
Directed by...
Shane Black.
The beloved Shane Black.
Written by Shane Black and his old writing partner. Some old dude.
Because someone thought it'd be a good idea to get the... So he wrote a little bit of the original one.
He came in for rewrites.
On the original.
I think it was during the whole fiasco when they were getting rid of Van Damme as the original Predator, and they brought in Stan Winston for the suit, and then they kind of brought in a guy to do on-the-fly rewrites.
Right.
And then isn't Shane Black, he's the first guy killed by a Predator on camera, ever, is Shane Black.
He's the first one.
And he has some really weird jokes in that movie, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, he's the dude with the glasses who keeps walking up trying to make that one dude laugh.
Yeah, the pedophile-looking guy.
Yeah, he does straight up.
Yeah, which we'll get into more of that later. But it is weird. He has pedophile friends and always casts young boys in his movies. But
what's with the kids?
Yeah, he always puts young lads. Maybe
they're all super scientists for some reason.
I gotta be around. I have my restraining order says I can't be around them for any other reason.
It was so weird. Remember, you saw.
I don't want to get sued. This is all just funny.
This is a comedy.
This is comedy.
Comedy podcast. You saw Nice Guys.
Yeah, I love Nice Guys.
And that scene where the kid's like, "You want to see my dick?
Yeah,
I want to whip my dick out." And I was just like, who writes this scene?
Do you think Shane Black gets a special bit of an arousal over making young boys be in rooms with naked women? Because he tends to do that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah.
God damn it, Shane Black.
On to The Predator.
It had his, style all over it, the humor.
It was peppered in, because as we were talking about earlier, 40-50% of it was reshoots. So I think the disparity between Shane Black's The Predator, and the studio's The Predator was pretty obvious. Because it would transition from everyone talking over each other with a really great pace to a really great pacing to just studio schlock, and then it would be everyone talking over each other, really great character moments, studio schlock.
Yeah, that's true.
And then the whole ending was studio schlock.
Yep.
But I'm gonna say right off the bat, I hated this movie. I loathed it. I really fucking hated it. I really dislike. And I'm not. To be fair, I'm not a huge Predator guy. Predator was always kind of for the jocks. He was always sort of the yo Predator kind of movie.
That's because I marathoned a bunch. I did one Predator 2, the Adrian Brody Predator 3, AVP number 1. I couldn't touch number 2.
No.
And then this one. And the one thing I noticed about the Predator, which drives me fucking nuts, is that it's not a rootable. Yeah, go Predator
He's
kind
just
of
a
character.
hunter.
He sucks.
Yeah,
he's the worst. The first one was a game. It's a game. They try to give him different personalities. The first one's a game hunter.
Yeah, the second one's a psycho.
It's a psycho because he goes to the most busy city in North America and just starts murdering folk.
Oh, I guess it's all that human DNA, but we'll get into that.
The third one is they're on their planet, which whatever. I was talking about with someone. I was like,
it was his game planet. It wasn't the Predator planet.
I'm gonna guess that's just some sort of if you're a rich predator and you want to go game hunting.
Yeah,
they just ship all the fucking humans in.
Yeah,
I love the old.
That's the Donald Trump Jr. of predators.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I love the idea that also somehow the predators are keeping an eye on serial killers and.
Right.
military text. Are they going through police files and shit?
Now we know why, though, thanks to Shane Black's The Predator.
That's right. But this one, the problem I have with this character is like every single incarnation of him, super advanced technology, he's invisible, super strong, and he goes around hunting humans like it's some sort of challenge. I'm like, what kind of jockey asshole wants to see this over and over again?
Yeah, he's a game hunter. He's like going to a preserve where they have the lions half drugged up, and they're shooting them. But now we know, to get into The Predator, the plotline of The Predator, which is convoluted as fuck. And yeah, spoilers. If you care enough about The Predator, you would have seen it already. This is coming out 2 weeks after it came out in theaters. Yeah. And if you don't care enough about The Predator to not listen if you haven't seen the movie, because it's not good. But super convoluted plot, because a lot of it was reshot, a lot of it was changed. But in essence, there was a predator, a good guy predator, even though the good guy predator shows up and starts skinning people alive and murdering people. I don't know why. But actually, I want to take an aside for a second. Wasn't the whole idea in the first Predator that they stumbled across his camp? That's why there were the soldiers that were referenced at the beginning of the film as going in and having disappeared are all skinned and hung up because they just stumbled across the Predator's campsite.
I thought it was still hunting.
You're right. So he was hunting, but he was getting his kills. He was skinning them, hanging them up. Okay. But then in Predator 2, they immediately throw that out the window because the Predator's just leaving skinned people everywhere because it's the Predator thing to do. So, but it doesn't make any sense, and that happened again in this one, because the Predator who's here to save us crash lands, and the first thing he does is start skinning people and hanging their skinned bodies like a horror monster.
Yeah.
That didn't make any sense on two levels. One, why is he doing that? He's not here to hunt. Why is he hanging up just to scare people? Like, oh, look what I can do. I'm like Jason Voorhees. And two, he was the good guy Predator who was here to save us. So
it's also like, it's a crash landing. He's running away with this artifact. Like, time is of the essence.
Right.
You don't have time to be straying folk up.
Just to get that visual of, it's a Predator movie, so we have to have soldiers wander up and see skinned bodies.
They have the exact same mistake in the AVP. At one point, they walk in the room and all the soldiers are hanging from the ceiling.
Yeah.
And it's like, I thought they were going to a pyramid. Why are they wasting their fucking time hanging folk up?
Well, that's the Predator visual. You have to have that.
See, and that's the other thing, like, in terms of, like, trying to make this into a franchise, it's weird. The first two kind of have a similar thing where it's an A story with a sci-fi element dropped in. I started comparing these movies to the Coen brothers eventually, where it's just kind of like, it's this group of violent idiots, and something from above high lands in their laps, and
disrupts everything.
They're all fighting over it.
Yeah.
But they've become more burn after reading than Fargo'd at this point. At first, it was very dichotomous. We're like, no, we have our main storyline. Then the last 20 minutes, holy shit, this is an alien movie.
Right.
But now this one is so endowed in the Predator-verse. You have to know everything about the point where we're just going to call them straight up Predators.
Yeah.
Because Sterling
took a vote. Sounds cool.
Yeah.
Didn't he blow his own head off? Wasn't that the triumphant end to that character? Is that he had a Sterling, the guy chewing the gum the whole time.
Yeah, wow.
He put the shoulder-mounted cannon on his head, and then it just turned and shot his own head off.
That's right.
Like in a blink of an eye.
Right. That's where, because again, that movie is so ingrained in you knowing everything about the Predator that, like, by the end of it, you can't just do the fight, the mono fight that usually ends all of them. You have to go crazy with it. So we have people surfing on fucking CGI ships and all that noise.
Well, my comparison I made was to the Terminator franchise.
That's a good point.
And I think my review for this was The Predator is to the Predator franchise as Terminator Salvation was to the Terminator franchise. Because even though Terminator 3 was garbage, it was still monster robot from the future, hunting dude, cat and mouse chase.
And at least trying to advance the same plot.
A little bit the same plot. Yeah. And then by Terminator Salvation, it was just a million different thread lines, a million different things in order to build a universe movie that can have multiple sequels.
Yeah.
This was the same thing. The Predator's very simple. It's Predator fighting group of dudes. That's it.
That's it.
You should stop making them. We got it covered. And so this one was so convoluted.
It was trying
all these different
hard
things.
To advance the universe.
Yeah, trying to build a universe.
Like, this movie could have easily just been Keegan-Michael Key and Tom Jane hanging out in the woods, cracking jokes. And
that's what it should have been. The prisoner bus of quote-unquote crazy soldiers.
I like them a lot more than anyone else.
Can you imagine if they were just like that? They were taking that bus of crazy soldiers and it crashed or whatever, and they were stuck in the jungle and fighting a predator, and that was the movie. That would have been fine.
It feels like down the line that was the plan.
Yeah.
Because I was watching it, and all of a sudden we cut to this high school and the kids are playing chess and shit, and there's a kid with Asperger's. I was like, why are we going for the low-hanging fruit of kids with fucking, inflictions?
Well, that's because, DC, the predators, if you didn't realize, they're actually hunting us because... Okay, so here's my ultimate question. The predators don't exist then. The predators are their technology. Because the implication in this movie, the original predator that came here to save us had human DNA in it. So it wasn't like the super predator had the human DNA. That one did. Okay. And so through the movie, they explained to us, okay, so these predators are getting the top apex predators from all these planets, combining their DNA to make the perfect predator.
Right.
So that means the predators are like the Borg now. That they're the technology. And then the meat of the predator is just a genetic cocktail of all the greatest predators from around the galaxy. Mm-hmm. So they're not like dudes from a planet anymore. They're a result of genetic engineering. And so the one with the human DNA was the one from the Arnold Schwarzenegger movies. He was a human DNA predator. And then the super one was like whatever the fuck that was. They didn't even explain what was in him.
So he's just an amalgamation of a bunch of other species he was
like the next step. Yeah, I guess. But then it was very unclear.
Because he was getting orders from like a high command. That's what confused the shit out of me. That he kept getting these messages. So I'm like, so wait, if Homeboy the original is like a lesser form predator that's being like exterminated or whatever,
right?
And he has that gauntlet technology, who's giving him the orders? Wouldn't his superiors be the same old predators?
Right.
Why is he taking orders from everybody?
So is the implication though then that these same old predators are just this like subspecies that are sent to Earth to hunt?
They kind of address that number 3, the Adrian Brody one,
because they have the big predators in that one too.
Yeah, they have both. Because because I was watching the AVP, I never noticed how bad where they look like wrestlers. They're super burly and they growl like tigers.
Yeah,
they keep roaring like tigers in that movie. It's really silly.
Not since because they got like a 7-foot dude for the first one to look imposing next to Arnold.
Yeah.
Ever since then, the predators have looked weird. It's like the stubby stormtroopers in the new trilogy.
Yeah, they don't look right.
No.
But yeah, there's a line Adrian Brody has in the third one, and Shane Black has said this is a direct sequel to like the 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
That there's a civil war kind of going on between the scrawny ones and the burly
big
ones.
So was this their version of the big ones?
I guess that if I was
the CGI one,
if I was guessing right, because there was one part where Kid McGee puts the
mask on and murders someone.
By the way, yeah, if you're gonna fucking find alien technology and send it to someone, don't send it to your fucking autistic kid who's gonna dick around with it in his little science lab in the basement.
He had a throwaway line of like, "I thought it would have stayed at the PO box or something."
It was like. That was one of the parts of the movie where I was like, listen, you can write whatever you want to write, but I don't have to buy it. Like, that's ridiculous. But, anywho, he's looking in, and they show a little montage of, like, 6 other predators around the big one on the gurney, and they inject him with something. So I thought that was implicating that serum that they're talking about, they've gone around the galaxy collecting different samples. That was them making the next stage of...
But then they had our
exactly, so I don't get why they would make another dude who's... And then have him hunt down their equals.
So maybe again, they're kind of like the Borg now, where they're the technology, and maybe the meat that makes up the Predator is like the new iPhone. Every year,
it used to be upgraded.
There's a new version of it, and so since 1987, it's been the original Predator version, and this is the new fucking Predator X coming out.
Right,
Predator X Plus.
It is. I still find it very strange he's taking orders.
Yeah.
Like, why? Like,
well, it seems like that was obviously sequel bait, but we're never going to know because this movie bombed hard.
How badly is it doing right now?
Let's
see. It's currently, budget was 88. It's at 69 million.
Right, so 88 million plus marketing, which marketing was huge for this.
Yeah, it was.
So it's going to need to make like 400 million to break even at this point. And it's not going to probably even break 100 worldwide. Like, it's a massive bomb. Predator's going to get shelved for another 10 years, and we're going to get another adaptation. So we're never going to know what happened to Adrian Brody and the girl from that Predators who just wandered off into the sunset, because that was supposed to also be a sequel.
That was a weak sauce ending, yeah.
What'd you think of that, by the way?
You know, I was with it up until, what do you call it? The team up again, where it came down to saving another Predator. We team up.
He was a little Predator, too.
Yeah, the enemy, my enemy kind of bullshit. I was just like, we did this in AVP already.
Yeah.
Adrian Brody's machismo attempt at like trying to out Arnold was a little irritating.
And the whole ending is just almost one for one the original Predator. He covers himself in mud.
Come on, kill me, I'm here, and all this. I was like, right away, that movie, it has that Force Awakens of like, it's a little too close to the original for it to be even considered a sequel.
I guess they were trying to wash away AVP So they were kind of very Force Awakens.
Yeah, we have to really like drive home. They're like, no, this is Predator now.
Yeah.
It's not. We're not going back to Alien anymore.
It's very confusing. Predator, Predator 2, Predator's the Predator. What an odd series.
It's just proof that like this franchise is just going back well,
right?
Like they have no plans for it. And again, I don't know how it's had legs for this long.
No, I don't know. I don't get it.
It's you know where it's going every fucking time. Especially this one. You throw in a little kid in a team full of chipper nobodies. Like they're gonna die.
Yeah.
Kid's gonna live.
Yeah.
The second he got reinstated, let's talk about that fucking last scene.
The last scene. So the movie ends. The movie ends with him just brutally murdering the super predator. He cuts his arms and legs off and then smashes his
and the
face
Monty
in.
Python fucking it's just a
flesh wound. Come on, bite your legs off.
And like,
so stupid.
And worse.
Yeah.
And when the predator started talking through the translator.
Oh yeah, I'm giving you 10 minutes. I get that they're highly intelligent, but it's always silly because they talk in part 2. Remember? Doesn't he actually straight
Motherfucker.
Yeah. Hello, Danny Elfman. Or Danny Elfman. Danny Glover. Donald Glover. Hello. Why are you so angry?
I just imagine Troy Barnes fighting a predator. It makes it a better movie immediately.
I'm surprised they didn't throw him in with just the amount of wacky characters in The Predator.
But that last scene, they were like, "There's a pod. What's in the pod? The pod's the only thing." They kept saying it. Like I was like, "Just open the fucking pod. I have to pee."
Yeah.
So like, eventually, I was sure it was going to be a xenomorph egg, just one last fuck you.
So it was the just again to
because that black goo comes out. Remember, like
it's the predator who came here to save us, but was also a vicious murderer who murdered us while saving us, left us a gift. And then the final scene, they open the gift, and it is
a fucking like predator suit.
Yeah.
A predator killing predator suit.
So they didn't bring us the solution to global warming, which again, okay, so the plot line of the movie is basically the predators are coming in greater numbers to Earth because the analogy they use, I believe, is when they discontinued Twinkies, everyone went out to buy Twinkies.
Right.
So global warming is about to drive us into extinction, so all the predators are coming to get...
Which, well, again, fuck you, Shane Black. Trying to throw in some sort of, like,
into
a predator movie, dude. Stop.
That's sort of like Star Wars having social commentary. Like, that's what Star Trek is for.
It was just... It wasn't even subtle.
Yeah.
Like, why are the predators coming in? Because you don't fucking turn off your car, and emissions are ruining the environment.
So they were here to hunt us before we went extinct, but also to gather our DNA, because predators are cocktails of DNA and not actually a species. They're just a collection of the greatest predators into one goopy thing. Mm-hmm. And they want an autistic kid. Because that was the future. Because the idea is, which I totally subscribe to this, is that if you're on the spectrum of autism, a lot of people are concluding that that's the next step of us in terms of evolution. Mm. Makes sense. We lost our tails once. We're going to get smarter. But the idea that the predator would want that little kid, why?
Out of hundreds of thousands of millions of histories of people with that.
I thought they wanted the greatest predators. I thought they were, because they say in the movie two things. They say the predators hunt apex predators to take their DNA. So they're not just trophy hunters anymore. They want their DNA. But then they wanted a weak little kid because he was smarter. But he's not a predator in any way. He's not,
I guess they were trying to just go for his, like, this is the obvious, like, his
bait and
fucking
switch?
his intelligence. Because remember they had the baits of, I want McKenna,
right.
No, not the guy from fucking Narcos.
I wanted your son,
and now we have to rescue the kid. If only a movie had the balls to end with the kid having his spine ripped out. Like,
that would have been a predator movie.
You know what I'm saying? But like the second you kidnap anyone's kid, I know you're gonna get him back.
Yep,
he's gonna be fine. Like, it's just such a weak fucking third act.
And then for some bizarre reason, Olivia Munn, who was like a biologist, becomes an action hero. You're like,
who runs through a forest insanely quickly
and jumps on the back of a car.
Yeah,
and,
there's one part where that ship's crashing and it's like bombing for a while, and she runs the length of that entire forest to the crash site.
Like, if you're gonna turn your lead, I don't care male or female lead, you should make them like an army, a military scientist.
Yeah,
she was a civilian. Why was she suddenly so kick-ass? Okay,
but I was with it. There was a specific gag that... Oh, no, that's what I was going to say earlier. You were talking about the Predator getting his arms all smashed up. That universe is predicated on a lot of like, you know, the caveats of like the humor throughout all of them. Like, it's not a very serious.
I ain't got
universe.
time to bleed.
Exactly.
And then the guy looking at him was what makes the joke of being like, what? What did you just say?
But the part where he's like, "What are you?" and it growls at me, he's like, "Shut the fuck up." I'm like, that is a clunky fucking action line. That is just bad writing.
There was some bad writing. Because remember the whole scene with Olivia Munn being like, did he just say lick my pussy? Lick my pussy.
Weird.
Lick my pussy? Did you say lick my pussy? And
It kept going,
What's happening here? What?
It was like they were just like more quippiness. Like, we need to inject humor into this scene.
But then
for
so many fucks. I don't recall The Predator ever being a super swear-heavy movie. Even with a force full of soldiers, they didn't swear as much.
Well, number 2, they're kind
Number 2 is like the future. 7 years in the future,
Yeah.
Los Angeles, so everyone's all crazy and
I kind
everyone's
of wish
swearing.
that was another thing. I kind of wish they followed up with. Like, would have been great. So if you want to go for fucking any social commentary, why not have the world all fucked up? Because
Right.
in 1997, it was already going to
It was
hell.
bad, yeah.
So you could have been like, it's 2018, shit's not gotten better.
Make it 2025.
Yeah. Fucking predators are raining out of the sky because they could see we're at the end game. You know.
Maybe that was because again, this was clearly made with a series of films in mind. This was their attempt at the MCU, the Predator cinematic universe, very obviously so.
the PCU.
The
if you
PCU.
will.
So maybe they were planning that was going to be the next
Complete
few
with an
movies.
Iron Man suit and everything.
Yeah. Oh, that was so terrible. And that the dude, the guy, who is the guy, the main guy? Because I dislike him a lot.
Oh, the dude from Narcos?
Yeah.
Boyd Holbrook.
He annoyed me so. He was like Quicksilver in Godzilla. Where I'm just like, you annoy me.
You're not a good lead.
You're not a good lead at
I
all.
liked him a lot in Logan, but like, yeah, in this,
Right.
like,
in Logan, he was great. 'Cause
Yeah.
He was playing a little scumbag.
and in this one, like, I guess that's what it comes down to. I'm not saying, like, I get it. He's supposed to be a rough around the edges hero, anti-hero, I guess you would classify him. But, like, there were several times where I'm like, I don't like, why are you getting reinstated
Yeah.
into the military? You're kind of a dick.
Yeah.
You shot a fucking dude in the face with a tranquilizer gun. I don't
Yeah,
think
right
you can
through his
get
eye.
reinstated into the military after that shit.
And I'm not a big fan of Olivia Munn as an actor, but her character was at least kind of interesting compared to that dude who just annoyed me for the whole movie.
Again, like, it just, you didn't need you didn't need like a white, blonde, blue-eyed male lead named like McKenna. Like, which is so, McKenna. Like, I was just like, could you be more on the nose? You got 2 black guys in there, and both of them play second fiddle. Like, I'm just
Yeah.
like, God damn it! Like,
Predator 2 had a black guy in the lead. Isn't that enough?
you got one.
You got one.
You got AVP, kinda. You got a black woman.
Oh, yeah,
Sure,
yeah.
she teams up with a predator. But
Ripley 2.0 there.
exactly, yeah.
And then you didn't watch AVP Requiem.
I saw it once in theaters, and I was not a fan.
I remember, like, I kind of skimmed it. I rewatched Predator 1 and 2 and then just skimmed Part 3 because I still had a pretty good memory of it and skimmed the 2 AVPs. And the thing that stood out to me the most was how clearly it was shot on digital and then post-processed into just a black muck. Like, you couldn't see anything going on. The Predator's going through the sewer, and all you could see is, like, a couple lights and just a black frame. And you're like, what the fuck?
I felt this one had a similar problem, like all the way from the Halloween scene through like the dawn the next morning when the ship's crashing. I couldn't see shit. I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, me either. And you were totally right. That was a CGI guy, but the big giant Predator. But then the leaked behind the scenes photos show a dude in a suit in that design, so clearly that was a last minute decision,
right? To
go, we have a lot of reshoots to handle, so just CGI them. It'll be easier than dragging the puppet back in,
and it looked
or the suit back
really bad at some point.
It looked atrocious.
Like, I watched what's it called, AVP, the first one, but it was the director's cut.
Okay.
And to make it a little bit more edgier, they CGI'd in a lot of blood, but it's like Blade 1 quality CGI blood. Like, it's very globular and reflective.
Yeah, right.
And I was like, this is terrible. And then 2018, I'm watching the new Shane Black Predator. I'm like, this looks worse.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Well, because I think right off the bat, I was like, I'm not digging this movie. As soon as the opening happened, I was like, oh, they're just doing Predator 1 in the opening act. I get it. Okay, so now they're going to bring the soldier back. But the whole scene of the our friend Predator, who also murders us for some reason, the whole scene of him waking up in the lab and just killing everyone, I thought that was really well executed, neat action. Him thumping around while Olivia Munn was in the shower hiding. I was like, oh, that's scary, that's cool. But then the second he died, I was like, oh, that's it for the original Predators, isn't it? It's just going to be this thing now.
Yeah.
Oh, and I just did not give a shit from that moment on.
Yep.
I didn't care. I was like, this Predator is stupid.
I'm glad though that they saved that set from Independence Day.
And,
And,
the lab, the lab,
and they got fucking, what do you call it? What's his face? Junior working in there. Busey's kid.
Oh, was that actually Busey's
That
kid?
was Busey's kid. His character is supposed to be the son of Busey's character from number 2, the government official. Yeah. What's his fucking name? Keys. Sean Keys.
So was there
son
any...
of Peter Keys.
They made a lot of little references to Predator 1, 2, and 3. Was there any AVP references at all?
No, I don't think at all.
So that's just straight up not... That's its own little pocket universe.
Yeah, so I would imagine like that's kind of just like, I guess if it had to be included, that's a story that these people just haven't heard about, because you could argue
the whole town was taken out in that second one.
Oh yeah. I was gonna say the base in Antarctica, no one would fucking know, but yeah, the second
whole
one,
town.
That I just remember this scene where the Predalians pumping eggs into women in the
pregnant women. That scene was so gross.
It's so tough.
I like that design though. I know everyone gives me hell for the Predator alien design, but I thought it was kind of neat looking. It was good enough to pass. It was a solid B.
Like the thing is that they've done the Predalien in the comics and stuff, and I like their incarnation a little bit more. That one just looked like it required little to no imagination.
It's an alien with dreadlocks.
Yeah, it was pretty weak. Like at least in the other ones, they kind of found like a body structure that kind of works for both. It's not like we just glued some dreadlocks on the back of a xenomorph.
Here's a question that I completely didn't understand. Why did the Predator dog become friendly?
Because they shot it
in the head.
They shot it.
That's what happened,
and it just was their friend.
Yeah.
And then it hated the Predator. It fought him in the end.
Bullet to the head.
Yeah.
So how come they didn't shoot the Predator in the head and then have like, oh, gee, George, where are we going, George? Predator.
He's my friend.
Petting kittens a little too hard.
Squeezing them and shit.
Oh, gee.
That was one of those moments where I was like, what audience is this appealing to?
Yeah.
Like older, like the Predator kind of guys are fucking digging the dog storyline. That was another thing I noticed too, was the whole fucking having Holbrook's character be a dad who's trying to save his son, and his son loves the Predators too. I'm like, stop pandering to fans of the original series who have grown up, who are going to bring their fucking kids to this. Like, I get it. Like, you're trying to rope in the Deadpool crowd. Like, stop it.
I'm really glad it bombed. I'm really glad. It may destroy Shane Black's career, but that means he's going to have to go back to making little indie flicks, and I am okay with that.
Yeah, dude, you can do like... Shit, okay, well, he's done Kiss, Kiss, Bang, Bang, he's done Nice Guys. Just do a movie about a quirky detective and his aggressive friend in the 30s in Hollywood.
When's it gonna be set this time? No, in the 2030s. Oh. One of them's a neurotic android.
That's right. For some reason, there's still a lot of weird racial undertones, though.
We really went back to the 30s. Jesus, what happened? No,
man. The pendulum swung hard all the way back the other way.
So should we get into the elephant in the room controversy that's spewed up right before the release of this film and potentially hurt its box office?
This one.
It's I think it's a conversation to be had, because basically, for anyone who doesn't know, what happened was Olivia Munn found out that one of the cast members was a registered sex offender. And so she contacted the studio and said...
Stephen Wilder Striegel. Professionally known as Steve Wilder. He's a buddy of Shane Black.
Shane Black has said in a previous statement before he had to release his kowtowing statement because the movie was coming out, he said, there was no ill will. It was what happened with this guy was that he got in a sexting chat room with a 14-year-old girl who was like his third cousin. And it wasn't anything... I'm not defending this guy in any way because that's fucking gross. You don't do that with a 14-year-old girl. But it was like a third cousin who pressured him into having a sex session with her, and he was stupid enough to do it. It was a public chat forum, so they arrested him. He pled guilty. He went to prison. He served his time. He paid his dues. He got out. It was a legality that he had to be put on the registered sex offender list. Although he didn't do anything, pun intended, predatory. He didn't try and like lure her back to his room or get her drunk and shit like that. And so Shane Black was defending him, being like, he made a stupid mistake, but he paid for it. The girl, by all accounts, is like, I was the one who instigated this. I have no ill will towards him. It was just sexting on a chat room. not a big deal. Again, not supporting that at all. That guy's fucking gross.
Right.
You don't do that with a 14-year-old. But he paid his dues. And so then after production was done, Olivia Munn found out and got his scenes cut from the movie. And I think the double craziness is that she contacted Fox and said, I wasn't comfortable. I should have been informed. They cut his scenes and said, okay, we'll take your side on this. And then after that, she decided to make it public. Right before the movie comes out, less than a week before the movie comes out, she throws this controversy at the film, and I just don't understand that mode of thinking. Like, she protested it, she won behind the doors of the studio, and then for some reason she decided to make it public right before the movie came out. It seems very, very attention-seeking and not very long-sighted, because that's not going to, first of all, it's not going to create a conversation about it that isn't people screaming at each other.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah,
That's not going to facilitate any kind of actual discussion. But I think the umbrage I take with it is that we're slowly getting into a world where even if you pay your dues, you're going to have a scarlet letter burnt into you. Like, even murderers who get out of prison, it's illegal for companies not to hire cons, right? You have to, like, you've paid your debt to society, your slate's been wiped clean. That's the whole point. You can't have justice without redemption. That's the whole basis of justice, is the idea that people can be redeemed and grow and have their slates wiped clean after they've paid their debts. So that bugs me a little. It's kind of fucked up that she because he's never going to be hired again. His career is over.
Yeah, it's over.
It's absolutely over. But it's not like a Weinstein who was getting away with this shit, who was having no repercussions. He paid his dues. He went to prison. So, like, it's worrying where the sphere has now widened to include people whose opinions you don't agree with and ex-cons. Like, these are people who are supposed to have the freedoms and equality.
So in other words,
like,
you don't have an immaculate record from day one,
then you're fucked.
You're fucked, yeah.
And that's, like, I don't know, man. Like, even people who've had family members murdered have gone and forgiven the murderer, and then he's working in a mailroom when he gets out of prison and getting his life back together, and that's the whole point. Redemption, right? You get your life back together. Now you're not allowed to do that. Even though I think murderers are allowed to do that. It's just anyone, if you get a citation for catcalling a lady, your life's over, but a murderer can get a job after he gets out of prison.
Yeah.
It's pretty fucked up, no? I don't know, I find that really messed up.
I'm looking to try to find what the actual account was of what he did.
The article I read for it even had excerpts from their texts, from their messages. And she was like, let's meet up, I want to fuck you. And he's like, we shouldn't. You're my third cousin. We shouldn't be doing this, but you're pretty hot. Like, it was just him being stupid as shit. And
Striegel described her as one of his distant relatives who spoke to him at several family gatherings about a multitude of problems she was facing, including being truant, being pressured to do drugs and alcohol, and that she started having sex, as well as many other things. In an attempt to boost her self-esteem, Striegel said he made the very bad judgment call of telling her in these emails that she was attractive and sexy and not a failure, etc. He said he made it clear the two could not engage in a romantic relationship because of her age and because they're related. And they did?
No, he did, because they had excerpts from his messages in the article I read. He straight up was saying, like, this can never be anything, but you're beautiful. I totally want to have sex with you. You're wonderful. Like, it's exactly what happened. But he was arrested. He pled guilty just to get it over with and served time in prison. Isn't that enough? Is that not enough anymore? It's weird. I don't know. It's a gray area, because fuck him, but also if you don't believe in redemption, then you might as well throw the justice system out the window.
And then what's the point of it?
And what's the point of all this if you don't believe in redemption? The whole point is that we grow as people. But then I guess just ask James Gunn.
It's right. Yeah, man. Like, if you can, like, have your apology accepted and still be fired, then I don't. Yeah, if there's no hope for you anymore.
If there's objectively no victim, then I don't know what the problem is. So I don't know. But anyways, that was just an aside. That was the elephant in the room that was attached to this movie like a fucking wart. So I guess we kind of had to cover it.
Right.
But ironically, he was not a predator. Ironically, she kind of was a little bit. She was out there looking to get some older guy dick.
Just fucked up. Like, oh.
Hey man, like 14-year-olds are horny. I don't care what sex you are. If you can get an older other sex to like pay attention to you, makes you feel pretty good as a 14-year-old.
It's fucked up, man.
Unquestionably fucked up. But I think the conversation is more about the legal system and ramifications and redemption. And without it, we might as well just go back to flinging our feces at each other.
Speaking of fucking feces, you know what the shit joke that lost me in this fucking movie?
Uh-huh.
The moment where I realized, like, alright, so that's what we're gonna be doing here. It was the scene where the fucking predator dropped in the back of the truck and started fucking dudes up.
Okay, yeah.
And the dude's like, what's going on back there? And he grabs the arm, and he sticks the arm through the front and gives him the thumbs up. And I was like, so the predator now knows what nonverbal hand gestures are and how to mimic them. And
I'd forgotten about that.
that was the moment where I realized, like, fuck. I was trying to stick with you, but now you lost me.
I completely forgotten about that.
Yeah, that's the moment where I was like, shit, I'm out.
Was the also thing about the Super Predator that his armor was now under his skin?
Did she mention something about that as they were driving away? Like, didn't you see that he regenerated something underneath his skin?
Yeah.
I'm like, I didn't see that.
I didn't see that.
That was all black and murky.
Is that the xenomorph DNA?
Xenomorphs can't do that, can they?
No, but maybe the underskin armor that he had was that xenomorph DNA. But wait, doesn't Prometheus and Alien Covenant ruin all that? Because now we know that an android made the aliens? And the alien was just black goop?
Wait, how does that ruin it, though?
Because the Predator versus Alien is like, they built pyramids 10,000 years ago on Earth to fight aliens. But now we know the alien wasn't created until 100 years in our future by a robot. Man, shit's getting convoluted.
Wait a minute, you're absolutely right. Shit.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to figure that. I was talking, like, I only realized the other day, I was like, oh, that alien queen in the pyramid, she must be the one that went spiraling out in space because Ripley, ejected it, and then the Predators found it and put it in the pyramid. I'm like, no, because that's like
10,000 years
it's
ago.
in the future, yeah, and so that doesn't make any sense. The Xenomorph couldn't have existed thousands of years ago.
Not with now Alien Covenant. No, it couldn't have now. Everything's getting... Remember when it was just a space jockey and a hunter with a pussy face in the jungle killing soldiers? Remember that?
It reminds me of what's his fucking face? The X-Men universe. It used to be so simple. It used to be so simple.
No more it ain't.
And now it's just become like after iteration after iteration, and for a needless, amendments to the fucking narrative. Like changing Trask, no Sentinels are now this.
Right.
Logan's memory is wiped because of this. It's because of Jean Grey. No, it's because of a bullet in his
Right.
head. No, it's because of... I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care anymore. Like, this universe, you're just picking at shit. I don't understand it.
I do. I think because Marvel is so keen on making sure everything lines up that even when a little thing doesn't, it makes everyone's brains explode. Like the 8 years later on Spider-Man Homecoming.
Right.
So on that level, I kind of like that the X-Men were like, yeah, we're just gonna make a good story. Fuck you. It's multiple. Every movie's its own universe.
Did they announce this week that Feige finally got the X-Men?
Oh yeah, and so now I don't think because all the early reports were X-Men Dark Phoenix was pure garbage, so they might just shelve that. That might be which is fine by me.
That was Bryan Singer's baby, wasn't it?
No, it was it was somebody really horrible who was directing it as his first directorial outing. It was like maybe we can look it up. But everything coming out, every word out of that set it was a dumpster fire.
Well, because let's be fair, I was not a fan of Apocalypse whatsoever.
No.
The last time they did the Phoenix storyline, it was not good. So I'm just like, I don't...
Oh, the trailer debuted at the Fox marketing presentation.
So this is going ahead. Simon Kinberg.
But that's surprising that the Disney isn't putting the kibosh on that. It's going to muddy the water for introducing these characters into the MCU. You think they would have just shelved it and made it like a TV movie or a Netflix release or something?
Right. I imagine it's like one of those things where it's like we're too far in. We can't.
Maybe.
There's too much money in this thing at this point. Well, they got Zimmer doing the score in this one.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
He's starting to do everything. He needs to just back off, man.
Well, I also think he's people's go-to superhero guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, he really is. But yeah, anyway, back to the Predator. This movie sucked. I don't know what else to say about it, really. It's like... So basically... The movie opens with the Predator being chased by another Predator ship. The Predator ship shoots him down. He crash lands. soldiers come across him. He murders all the soldiers, although he's here to help us and deliver us a predator fighting predator suit. One soldier mails his shit back to his autistic kid.
Not before putting on alien gear himself.
And swallowing an invisibility ball.
My favorite part... Yeah, what if that was made of some sort of, like, mercury ore that would slowly tear apart your lower intestine?
I'm shocked he was able to get that thing down his throat.
Well, Boys, well, it gets lonely in the military. You don't ask, you don't tell.
Yeah, that's true.
But, like, the worst part of it was, like, this thing... I remember he has it on his wrist, and it shoots out a dart.
Yeah.
That's so fast and lethal, it bisects a dude and kills a predator right a fucking way. So his first instinct is, I'm gonna mail this to the house where my wife and child are.
Yeah.
My child who's autistic and likes to fuck around with technology he gets in the mail.
But then the one throwaway line of him, like, I thought it would have gone to the P.O. box, or whatever it said,
Just like every irresponsible father coming back from the service, leaving his gun out under the table. Like, what the shit, dude?
And so what, okay, so then, because he knocks out the good guy, bad guy predator, and then the military shows up, finds him, takes him to, like, an Area 51. Then he wakes up, breaks out.
That one? There was a couple moments where the dialogue there, Shane Black tricked me into thinking it was going to go somewhere good, and that was one scene where he was just like, "Your testament said I was born, and I crawled out of the room through like a what was the fucking line? It was really good. It was like, he's like, the second I was born, I crawled out of the womb and across like a battlefield of something straight into like a world of shit. He's like, that's badass, man. That is badass.
Oh, yeah, I do remember that.
That line was like, there was moments where I was just
there were moments
where I was like, damn it, that's why you get Shane Black. He can win you with the dialogue, and you'll have faith that the rest of it won't suck.
Moments. But then the whole ending is that Predator heading back to the soldier's family's house to get his gear back, and then a super Predator shows up to kill the original Predator for reasons that I'm sure would be made clear in sequels. Everyone dies, and then it ends with a Predator suit being delivered to fight Predators. That's the whole movie, just setting up a bigger universe. And then there were leaked set photos of the original Shane Black ending, where they actually had Area 52 and a team of Predators living on Earth that were like the environmentalists of the Predators, and they were all in tanks and geared up fighting the other Predators on our behalf. That all got cut. That whole ending was changed. God knows who shot the new ending. I don't think it was Shane Black.
I don't understand this. Why do they keep coming here?
Well, because we're about to go extinct, and they want their Twinkies.
Of all the like, are we to believe that just because, like, you know, he can pop his mask off and breathe in our atmosphere?
He has trouble with that. He's always wheezy when he takes the mask off. He's always sort of like... I think he just does it...
Well, he can do that fucking laugh clear as day. Like, so I think he's breathing just fine.
Because every time he unscrews it, all this air shoots out and everything. But you search Predator tank, and you actually got the actual tank
Predator
brand
tank.
Predator.
What would it be? The deleted?
Predator tank, Shane Black, the Predator set photo? Maybe something like that.
Shane Black.
But, so I just found this movie to be an absolute clusterfuck. Wait, didn't... who are the two characters? Oh, yeah, there it is. So if you're listening to this, Google Shane Black Predator tank, and you'll see the original ending.
Oh, that was the other thing that irked me, was the part where he picks up the fucking gun while he's, like, running around. You start shooting people.
Oh.
At least they made it so he wasn't, like, holding it properly. He kind of just looked like he was figuring it out.
Yeah.
But I'm like, since when do you know how to use triggered weapons?
Yeah.
You have a shoulder-mounted gun. I never once seen you pick up a triggered anything. How can you know?
Figure that shit out
Really quickly.
I guess the thing you can always fall back on the argument is that they're supposed to be highly advanced creatures.
Hunters and shit.
Hunters, they know what to do. But
that's really interesting. So this ending was supposed to be they teamed up with the fucking Predators and they're rolling around a tank.
And so because there were
Stopping
Predators,
the other dude?
there were already Predators on Earth trying to save the planet, like conservationist Predators.
Okay.
As far as I know, from what's been leaked.
It would explain why the end of that movie is literally them surfing on the hood of a fucking UFO, all CGI and shit, and they all die randomly. Like, whenever Key and fucking Tom Jane
shoot each other?
At the same, you know how much coordination it takes while you're bleeding to death?
That was the stupidest thing ever. I LOL'd at that moment. I was like, seriously?
You're really... I wish one of them missed, so
Yeah.
like one of them died.
Oh, fuck.
And the other one's like, ah!
That would have been a good comedy bit.
Right in the knee, fucking asshole.
They both miss. And they're both just dying horribly. And then the one guy goes laughing and shooting his way into the engine of the spaceship.
Not before flipping him off because he's a crazy.
Right.
He's a badass.
He tried to kill himself. That was the thing. That was because he said he tried to kill a colonel.
And then at one point he's like, he says that someone like I'm paraphrasing, but I'm thinking of Jude Law in Gattaca. If at first you don't succeed, try again. He has a similar line though, where he implicates he's going to try and kill himself again, and you're like, he's going to sacrifice his life. To save him.
You knew that.
There's no way he's not going to sacrifice his life to save him.
But the douchey main character there was like, "Do I have to worry about you?" And he kind of just stood up slowly and was like,
that's what it was.
I will take a little dash of that coffee, I think, sir. Mm-hmm. Little spice coffee. You can probably hear that pouring in.
If you want some of this fine spice coffee, go fuck yourself.
I'm going to call this melange for the rest of the podcast, and those of you who are super nerds will get that. Those of you who aren't, it's from Dune. So we got, so I think at the end of the day, I'm just going to say, fuck the Predator. Don't waste your time. Get it on Redbox or whatever, streaming service it's going to be immediately put on once it comes out.
If you're a diehard fan, you might enjoy like the little things, like the little throwaways of like, oh, that's why they pull their spines out specifically.
Right.
That's why
to get their DNA.
Like again, it just felt like you don't have to explain this. I'm cool with them just collecting trophies.
Yeah, they could just be. I guess maybe that's the thing that they didn't want them to be Donald Trump Jr.'s anymore. So now they're like scientist monster Borg.
But it doesn't make it.
Doesn't work. It doesn't make sense.
And that's a byproduct of the first one. Your main character's goal is to be like this fucking safari douchebag who shoots caged lions. I'm like, it's not a character that has a lot of depth anywhere to go. Because the xenomorphs I like, they're just termites.
Right.
They don't have a purpose. Well, the queen, I guess, that can command them and shit.
Right.
Realistically, their thing is just, if it moves, kill it. Like, they just destroy everything.
They're just monster alien things.
Yeah, they destroy things and then turn your environment into theirs. I can vibe with that. That has a lot of different applications.
The Predator was a one-story gag that never should have had a sequel.
It doesn't make... You know who I want to see a sequel about? Go back to that Jamaican gang from the second one who skins people and flails them upside down.
Remember you hear the scream and then it cuts to just the head screaming and then you realize he's carrying the head? Like, that was kind of a cool shot.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind them just going back to... I don't know. See, even as I say that loud, I'm like, why go back? I was going to say, like... The idea of having just an A storyline and in the last 20-30 minutes it becomes this sci-fi thing. But even that, I'm like, you've done it 3 times.
Right.
Like...
You don't really...
Like, how many times can you end the movie boxing a fucking alien? Like, it's been done.
Do you think... just to sum it up, I'm going to say, fuck the Predator. What epitaph would you use on its grave?
I mean, where would I rank it? I would... It's not high. I enjoyed the Adrian Brody one a lot more than I thought I would. Than this one. I
think this one's down with the AVPs.
It's the humor's great. I wish the fucking movie was just like you said. Like it was like busload of guys. It was like Harrison Ford, The Fugitive. They're in the bus. It flips off the road, and then they just have to fight a predator. That would have been a way better movie.
It would have been really neat. And you could even have broadened the universe by saying the predators were getting tired of hunting the apex. Now they're going after some of the crazy ones, maybe the unpredictable ones.
Again, I think it's hilarious. I love the idea of a predator wearing a fake mustache and like a police hat, walking into like the NYPD, going to a computer trying to find the most notorious killers in the city. Like,
this one looks.
How you doing there, Mike? Hi, Jim.
So I rank Predators a little higher than Predator 2 because as much as I love Donald Glover, aka Troy Barnes. Danny Glover, I found the movie to be weird because that was when shit started happening like, oh, he's just skinning people because it's Predator imagery. And it was like the director of Friday the 13th who wasn't exactly an auteur. It wasn't like, dude didn't go on to do Die Hard like John McTiernan did.
And also that movie, it really... you can feel them pulling from their source material. Like it's a little bit of RoboCop. It's a little bit of,
for sure.
Like, and
it doesn't really make sense for the Predator to be in the city.
Yeah.
So, like, I get that he's supposed to be crazy, but then there's all these other predators at the end with a spaceship.
Oh, and they give her the flintlock.
You give him the flintlock. You didn't like that? I kind of like that. I kind of like that they're so trophy-based that in their head, It's like, here's a 300-year-old pistol. That's got to mean something to you, right? We're all trophy-based here. Here's a thing from your ancestry. I kind of thought that was neat.
I just love the idea that the Predators fucking killed a pirate.
Right?
With their super advanced technology.
Yeah!
And they
If they've been hunting since back then, they're showing up with like lasers and nuclear bombs to take on Jack Sparrow.
Yar? This nuke a fucking fleet.
Wait, why has no one made that fanfic yet? We have Batman versus Predator. Where's Jack Sparrow versus Predator?
The two dreadlock champions
Right.
fight each other. Yeah. It'll happen.
Jack just gets him drunk. Tricks him into some like weird heist.
You know there'd be some lame scene where the fucking Predator's looking at his brand on his wrist and he sees the brand on Jack's wrist and he nods approvingly or some bullshit.
Mate, I thought we've both been through it, yeah. So, to wrap up,
The Predators.
the Predators, the Predator, Predator 2, Predators, and the Predator.
Yeah, if you're, it's. I think it's for the fans.
I think it's for the fans.
Strictly for the fans.
And yeah, I've never been a big Predator guy, so I feel kind of like weird ripping into them too much because they've never been for me.
Yeah.
But I don't know. The first one's great. Like, it's fun, but it's not something I'd ever watch more than once.
And also, like, it's fun because it's not the rest of them. It's not like this crazy alien sci-fi. No, it's a straight up war movie.
Yeah.
And it's not until like you're a good hour in before it even fucking shows up, you know?
Well,
Like,
you know, that was a studio mandated opening, the original Predator. It was supposed to just open with Arnold Schwarzenegger showing up in the jungle.
that would have been awesome. I
hate that spaceship at the
Yes, I know. You kind of wish you were just watching like, oh my god, these fucking gorillas are insane. They're
'Cause then
skinning people.
It becomes like a Lovecraftian nightmare.
Well, it reminds-
without that spaceship. You're like, just this thing.
It reminds me of like, you know, a Hitchcock movie where you think, this is the movie. Oh wait, she's dead.
yeah.
Like this is
Yeah.
now actually the movie, or like for like a to a lesser extent, Dusk Till Dawn. You're like, it's this creepy abduction movie. Oh,
Wait, there's vampires? Yeah.
Like that's what the appeal of the first one I like the most. The rest of them, you know what you're getting into, so it's just like, fuck it, let's just get to the fight, you know?
I honestly think that the longevity of this franchise is based 100% on how cool the Predator looks. Mm-hmm. It's an awesome Stan Winston creation, and will live on in infamy as one of his best looking designs.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, overall,
Sexy body necks and everything.
Overall, first Predator, fun. Second Predator, Third Predators, you tried. It's like the sign from Batman v Superman of the hobo with the I tried sign. That's Predators to me. And also, Justice League. And also Justice League is a homeless man with a cardboard sign that says I tried. I think that sums up Predators and Justice League. And the Predator is the Terminator Salvation of the Predator franchise. Just trying so hard to create a universe, they've completely forgotten the reason people like these movies
exactly.
in the first place.
Yeah, totally. Oh, there it
I
is.
think that sums it up.
Alright, guys. I think that's it for this week.
Don't forget to check us out at spaceactionheroes.com. Everything's linked there, so that's all we need to say. spaceactionheroes.com.
And you can email us at spaceactionheroes@gmail.com.
At gmail.com.
Gmail.com.
It's not linkable off the website because, as anyone who owns a website knows, we would have 10 billion junk mails a day if there was a website or a email link on the page.
I can only get so many requests for penis pills.
Exactly. Wait, I thought you were supposed to forward those to me.
Ha 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 ha!